So welcome to the time blocking mastery course. This is a mastery that we've been doing for almost 3 decades. And today is week 3, guys. Congratulations, you made it halfway. But today, you definitely want to take notes and you're going to be taking lots of screenshots. So I hope you brush up. If you don't know how to do a screenshot, Chat GPT is your best friend, and I would definitely start talking to your Chat GPT right now. So, how many of you guys use Chat GPT? All right, that should be everybody's hands, right? Awesome, awesome. This is the free session. We're going to give you a recap of what we reviewed last week, right? Um, and then we're going to give you the meats and potatoes of the session that we're doing today, like give you a synopsis of what's going to take place in the general session, okay? And then right after the general session, we're going to do the VIP. We don't have a guest speaker this week, but that's kind of good because this week there's a lot to cover. Okay, now you're going to have some assignments. Today we have RG here. RG is going to be able to help you with some of these assignments. Okay, we're going to cover all the details during the general session. Okay, and then in the VIP session, we're going to go thoroughly through the calendar. When I mean thoroughly, I created a brand new account just for you guys so that we can go step by step on how to get it done. If you need additional assistance, there will be services offered by RG. Okay, so he'll help you with you guys on that, and myself, the whole 9 yards. Okay, so first and foremost, everybody give a warm welcome to Mandy again from South Africa.
Hello, Mandy.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, Mandy.
Mandy, would you like to maybe let them know a little bit about yourself? Is that okay?
That's okay. I am from Stellenbosch, near Cape Town in South Africa. I started digital marketing with DGC about in September, August, September. It's some time ago, but the last about 5 weeks, I'm busy. And I don't know how did I saw PPP 101. I think it must be one person that I followed in DGC. Yeah, I've been in finance all my life, but since retirement, I want to try something new. So this is me.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you here.
Thank you very much.
You're
I'm
gonna
excited.
you're gonna see the people here are about as real as can be. Um, we don't have any AI here.
Ah, I would love to work with AI, and I can just say it's 12 o'clock in South Africa.
No worries. No worries. It's
Yeah,
6 a.m. in the morning in Philippines.
I
Um,
like it.
so there's different time zones everywhere.
Yeah.
If you ever work with Asian folks, we don't know what time zones is
Is it?
because I have customers that are in 27 countries.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I kind of work pretty much all time zones. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it's been the story of my life. Even when I was in the network marketing industry, our team was always diversified to many, many countries. Okay.
Mm.
Um, Very unique, but to me, it's probably one of the most rewarding position to be in, because you get to understand different cultures. You get to understand and observe and learn from all parts of the world, which to me I value very much. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me go ahead and move this gizmo up here. We're going to move this gizmo up here so we can go ahead and present. All right. So going to the free session, on week 1, we covered the core values that are very important to incorporate into your calendar. And we also did assignment. Just a show of hands, who did their assignment for week 1? Because you're going to be using your assignment today. Okay? Today's the day. So if you didn't do your assignment for week 1, you might feel like you're going to want to catch up a little bit. Okay? Then week 2, we covered the tools that we use, right? We covered the tools that we use in order to make all this work. And some of them are AI tools, because at the end of the day, right, guys? AI will always save you time. It'll always simplify your life. Okay? I want you to understand real quick and real clear. We don't want you to replace you with AI. Okay? We want you to leverage AI to simplify the process. Does that make sense? You have no idea how much time I save every single day just leveraging AI. Okay? Week 3, we're going to talk specifically about your niche, right? The message clarity, how to identify your perfect customer, right? You know, back in November, I didn't think it was possible to actually acquire a customer that doesn't know you out of nowhere, out of atoms, and be able to purchase from you. That was my limited belief. Okay? Until 7 days after I started, and I realized this thing is real. My first customer is here, Cynthia, right? And then after Cynthia, the next 3 customers were all from cold market. Pretty amazing stuff. Okay? Once you experience that, your belief goes up. Right, Martha? Martha, you want to share with everyone what happened to you today?
Well, I feel kind of silly, but I'm going to push past that. I was on a one-to-one training with Kim, and we went over to Get Response and HBA to see where my funnel is. And there was a man who was in my funnel. He had watched, I don't know, like maybe 6 videos, and I had already noticed his name in TikTok and didn't pay too much attention. But Kim guided me through that to put a post in the community just as a win, and he showed me how to block out his contact info, and then coached me through reaching out to him, calling him and asking him for what options would work for him to have a Zoom meeting where I watched the video with him for an invite to the community.
So let me ask you this. You guys don't get hung up on this, okay? But Martha is batting 100%. First lead, and was able to get a hold of that lead. Now, is that amazing or what?
Yeah, no, we have a same last name. I don't know this man, but that maybe helped. I don't know.
That is, listen, guys, I want you to understand. Most of you know the one thing we do difference here is we collect a phone number, correct? For that very reason that Martha just experienced. You see, had you had just an email, could you have done that? No. You still be waiting for 19 more leads. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see.
You see what I'm saying, right? Pretty good stuff, guys. This is good stuff, okay? So let's talk about this message clarity real quick, okay? Number 1, when you talk about the core values, as we did a recap, right? Where is your allocation of your faith, your family, your fitness, your finance, and your fun, right? You got to understand that on your calendar, I can look at your calendar and I can tell you exactly where your problems are. Is that pretty valuable? right? You know, a lot of people say, you show me your friends and I show you your future. You show me your calendar and I show you your problems. So, our guest speaker that we had previously, we had Amy, we also had uh, Melvin, right? And you know, it's very important that you break even on these tools, right? And these tools that you use, they have to be point, click, copy, paste, drag and drop, and they have to be simple to use. Now, if someone cannot copy, paste, point, click, drag and drop, you may want to rethink the customer part, okay? How many of you guys want to bring on a project? Do you have time for a project? No.
Oh, sir.
Right? You projects will slow you down. What is a project? These are people who suck your time. Like literally suck your time and just have no desire to learn. Does that make sense, guys? Right? You don't want to come across people like that. Okay? Now, the message has to be clear, which is what we're going to talk about today, right? This is very important because this is what makes automation work automatically. It's if you don't set up a car right, if you don't put in the right oil or the right fuel, will your car work?
No, sir.
It won't work, right? So we do have a rule here, guys. You can unmute yourself as long as you don't have no background, but we like to do a lot of interaction, right? Um, if I don't do any interaction, in my mind, in the back of my head, is I might have to call 911 to come to your location because we want to make sure you're okay. Does that make sense? So y'all give me help a little bit about the blood pressure, pulse, and all that stuff, right? So the niche is very important. Okay? What if you could be in front of the right people every time you're in front of someone? What if you knew their problems before you lay eyes on them, not after you lay eyes on them? Does that make sense, guys? Now, I am sharing you this from experience from the age of 18. Most of you guys know I started in network marketing and I started in the financial industry. That's what I did for my first 15 years, which allowed me to walk away from the service, right? At the same time, I was doing nails. Okay? Don't ask me to do nails today. Your nails might not end up looking like what you want them. Okay? Technology has changed a little bit from back in 30 some years ago. Okay? Things are different today. Okay? So, with that being said, the one thing I learned to master is identify people's problems that I need to solve before I lay eyes on them. And this is before technology. I was doing this all manually. How many of you guys remember 3x5 cards? Unfortunately, they still exist. And I know some of you guys still use them. I use them every now and then. I do have a stash somewhere in here, right? But what eliminates all that? Technology. Okay? But just don't get me wrong, okay? Technology will never replace personal touch. Never. I don't care how good technology becomes. At some point in time, you gotta put a personal touch. You agree, Mandy?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, would you invest $1 million with someone you never met?
Mm.
I wouldn't.
Never.
Would you buy $1 million house without meeting your realtor? Or without looking at the house just from pictures and videos?
No, sir.
No. No. Anything less than $250,000, you might. But anything over $1 million, I guarantee you won't. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Personal touch means a lot of things. Don't mean to put you on the spot, Manny, but you're our newest person. Our meeting that we had where we walk you through, how much did that mean to you?
It meant a lot.
How much
It
trust,
actually,
how much belief did we gain from each other during that meeting?
you actually convinced me.
Well, I hope I didn't convince you too much, because our goal is for you to make a decision without us having to convince you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. But you
Because
actually convinced me.
when you look at the platform, when you look at the community, it sells itself. Does that make sense, guys? The way that we put this community together, it sells itself. I have no doubts that the value is there. Question is, do you see the value to be a good fit for what you do? That's really the only question you have to answer. Okay? Because what? First question people ask themselves is, does it work? Does anybody have any doubts that it works or not? You guys are seeing the results. Whether it is a small win, a big win, it doesn't matter. You're seeing the wins, right? Welcome back, Breezy. So, when you're seeing the wins, the next question is, can I do it? Well, go ask Martha, can you do it? Go ask Breezy, can you do it? Go ask Rudy, can you do it? Go ask Cynthia. Everybody here has got some kind of result somewhere in some shape or form. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Because these are real people. Okay? One thing you'll learn about PPP, we don't put anything out that we have not tested and make sure that it works. That's the standard of this community. Okay? We have a lot of done for you items. We live in a society, in a world that people want things done for them. Naturally, convenience is not free. But people rather have the tax write-off and get someone else done than do it themselves. It's the nature of the beast. Okay, that consists of about 80% of the people around you. Why is that? Because it's the easy way out and the fastest way to get your return on your investment while you can do something else productive, right? Think about this, guys. Why would someone like me pay someone else to go ahead and set everything up? Because I can do a million other things while they set it up. It's not about just learning how. See, for me, I'm a very simple person. I just need to know that the clock works. I don't need to know how the clock works. Does that make sense, guys? Why? When you start learning how the clock works, do you become duplicatable? You're no longer duplicatable. But when you just know that the clock works, you stay simple and you become more duplicatable, which means you can help more people. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of the game. I never tried to be the expert because when I become the expert, people will think, do I have to be as good as Kim? And that's when you start killing people's hopes. Does that make sense, guys? You're no
Mm-hmm.
longer becoming a hope dealer. Okay? So, with that being said, week 4 is a reality check. Does your system work? Is it set up properly? Did you meet with the right people or did you follow the right recordings to get it set up? Right? Is your story being told properly? How many of you guys have heard this thing called facts tell, story sells? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Facts will always tell, good or bad. Agreed? But the story only sells when the story is told properly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If your story is not told properly, how is it going to sell? It will not sell. Uh-oh, we got somebody with echo. Okay. So, at the end of the day, guys, it's important you understand that, right? Now, a lot of you may or may not know my story, but most of you know my story. We lost an income of $60,000 a month because the network marketing model went away and they decided to become an affiliate. I basically told them to shove the income where the sun don't shine. Okay? And I said, I'm going to figure this out. So we drove to Texas to buy the Legacy Builder program from the person that we know, right? But my wife never met this person because I did some previous business with this person. This person is a lady out of Texas. And so we drove to Texas to meet her so that my wife could have a chance to meet her. Then we made a decision to buy the program, not knowing anything with digital marketing, not even having a social media profile. How many of you guys can relate?
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 10 months later, guys, we overcame and we're very close to be the next six-figure earner in the DGC arena. You see, our goal initially was to make sure we get the six-figure done within the first 12 months. And it looks like we're on track to do that. Does that make sense, guys?
Wow.
Now, let me ask you guys this. I believe in speed, but then in another way, I don't believe in speed. You know why? When you reach that milestone too quick, you take away the belief from other people that it can be done. Because they start playing the compare game and they're like, there's no way I can do this in 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, whatever, right? So this is why I pace myself to do it in 12 months, because people can swallow 12 months a lot easier. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And think about this, guys. 12 months is still a big achievement in the real world, right? Because why? Less than 11% of the people around the world make a six figure. That's facts. And in most places, not South Africa, I would have to say, but in United States, you make six figure, that means nothing. You're barely breaking even in surviving wherever you live. Because it's only 8,300. Now, that's a different story in South Africa. You multiply that times 17, and that's how many rands that is. Okay? Can y'all educate me, Mandy and Madeline? What can you do with a six-figure income in South Africa?
Ah.
Does that help you
You
live a
can.
little better?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Right? Hey, RG, are you still here, RG?
Yeah, I'm still listening to you guys.
What
Still
does
here.
$100,000 a year do in the Philippines?
That will make a very big change. Very
Can
big
you live? Can
difference.
you live pretty good in the Philippines with $100,000 a year?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly, guys. This is why you guys want to do business around the world. This is when you got to start to understand different cultures. It's huge. Okay? Now, as you can see, this is our Square account. Over the past 10 months, we did about 34,000, right? And then we have Our PayPal account, we did about 32,000 in the PayPal account. So you can see I'm a very diversified person. Okay. And then we also have a Stripe account. And this is the new account. Our old account, okay, we had an additional 30,000. But because Stripe doesn't like digital marketing, they closed down our first account. But here's what I do know. If you talk to any of the six-figure incomes in this industry, I don't know of anyone that either didn't have a social media account closed down, or a payment account closed down, or went through some kind of struggle before they got to the six-figure income. Does that make sense, guys? It's part of the journey. It's something that you expect. I'm on my third TikTok account. I lost a Facebook group of 14,000 people. So I've had my fair share. Do you guys agree? So this really concludes the free session. If you want to attend the main session, we're going to take a quick break here. You get with the person who invited you, and they will show you how to enroll or register into the main session. Okay? This main session, and I will tell you, I used to do this course for $2,400 per person. But because I understood the power of community, or the things that I've learned with Michelle, with Mike, and a lot of other leaders and coaches, just so you know, I have 3 coaches just for the YouTube coaching alone. Okay? And I have 3 more coaches inside of DGC outside of Michelle. Michelle is actually coach number 7. Okay? That's the number of coaches that I work with in order to get the results that I have today, because nobody handed me anything. You guys are fortunate. Why? Everything is structured for you. Does that make sense? I wish I had somebody structure this like this for me, but it's not that way. You know what? Does that stop Kim? It doesn't stop Kim. Does that make sense? Everybody good? Right? So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and then we're going to come back into the main session, right? So we're going to take like maybe a quick, wow, we did good today. We'll do a quick 3-minute break, okay? 3-minute break. I'm going to go grab some water and stuff, and then we'll be right back, okay? But if most of you guys have not registered in the general session, make sure you get with the person who invited you, okay?